that's like literally the worst. It's like almost putting like a deer in like a lion's den.
Yeah, yeah, you're right on that. This is dangerous,
Terrible.
dangerous life.
Hmm. So okay, so your brother, was he like, why did he encourage you to do music? Was it because he knew you loved singing, or was he kind of like involved somehow in the music industry at all?
My brother, he just always knew that I could sing, and he's just like how my grandma was. And my uncle and even my father, hey, look, you need to be on American Idol. You need to go here. You need to do this. You need to sing. You have you have a voice. God gave you the blessing. You need to go use it. Like he was very encouraging throughout my life when it came to the music. I was in multiple talent shows that I would win and everything. Like when you asked for my accolades, I couldn't even give you all of them because there's so many as far as like going all the way back to my childhood too. If I needed to do that, it just would be too much. My brain would be fogged.
They're
But
important. If they're important, we could always add them in there. Like I could do it in chronological order.
yeah,
It could
because
also
it's
be like early days. We could do that later. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like do the current ones now, and then maybe later on throw in like a
Yeah, just
older.
throw them in there because they're there, honey. Trust me, I was there. I did it all. I was in Crime Watch, everything. But to make a long story short, he just believed in me. Like he really did believe in me, and he really wanted to see me win. When it came to the music, because I used to write poems in fifth, sixth grade and turn them into songs, and that's
Yeah,
kind of yeah, girl. And that's how I format all of my music via poem form. Like everything
oh
is a
my
poem,
god.
and I just turn it
Yeah.
into the song.
I love it. I'm like almost getting like little happy tears in my eyes because I did the same thing. I'd be like writing poetry and then going to my keyboard and trying to figure out how to do a song with the poem. Sometimes I have to add a hook or like, you know what I mean? Like it was fun. I love doing that. So that's really cool that you did it the same way because everybody, when they write music and make music, everyone does it in a different way. And
Yes.
so it's really cool to hear someone that like did it the way I did because you probably just came up with that way because it was like the natural way for you to do it,
It
right?
was just a natural way for me to do it. You know how that is. I was just like, look, I'm just gonna write these poems. I do want to also bring out the fact that a lot of my musical background, like I was trained in opera. My music teacher, Mr. Lampkin, played a big role in where I'm at now in regards to how far I've come.
And
And
musical teacher from high school or
yes, from high school. His name is Lowell Lampkin, Lowell Lampkin. Yeah. He's still alive. Every time I go home to Florida, I go visit him or we do lunch or
oh,
something. Yeah.
I,
Cause
yeah, I love
when my dad passed, I was already in chorus, first, second, and third hour. Cause I was in concert, chorus, gospel choir, and just chorale. Cause I sing, so I was doing them all. Chorale was the opera class, so I can learn that, the patterns. But what I can say about Mr. Lampkin is, I remember when my dad passed away. He literally, hey, go sit down. When my dad passed away, he helped me out as far as like being able to get money to eat and all kinds of stuff. Like I didn't have anyone like really helping in my family. Again, like I say, I guess like you say, everybody just assumed I was good because that's what they said. But he was one of the people like that was collecting money from like the class to be able to give me money to eat and pay my cell phone bill. Like Mr. Lampkin really showed up, you
yeah,
know.
that's beautiful. So he's kind of like a mentor to you.
Yes. Oh my God. And that's why every time I go home, I'll be like, Mr. Lampkin, I gotta see you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it like that. I think that's a really special relationship with my journalism teacher from high school. I had a similar kind of thing with him where we kind of connected in class and he let me be features editor senior year. And I thought I was going to win the Scholar Award because I was planning going to school for journalism. That was what I was going to do, mass communications and journalism. And he gave it to the editor in chief. And I like literally busted out in tears and was like thinking, how dare he? Because I did more work than she did.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't even there all the time. So, and then he felt bad and he started crying. And when I lived in Hawaii, he came out. I almost got to see him, but yeah, my ex made it impossible. So
Nobody can stop God's mission. I'm trying to tell you.
that's right. So then let's go like some more into the music. And it's fine if you want, when we talk, if you want to keep talking about your family and different people. Okay, so why is it important for you to be multi-genre? Like you have the R&B music, but you also are kind of throwing in, I put in those other genres. Why is it important for you to do that? How does it help your success And do you see a difference from your music doing multi-genre versus others that are only doing one genre?
Well, I try not to pay too much attention to other artists because I don't want to be discouraged. I don't mind being encouraged, but I try to just avoid it both, at both ends because I want to remain unique and creative. Um, I love singing and writing gospel music, country music, EDM, easy listening, whatever, because it's all just based off how I'm feeling or where I'm at in my life or where you're at in your life. Like I'll take what me and you discussed and I can just create a song about your situation without even making mention of every little detail, Like it's just whatever comes to me, I just write it. I don't know no other way to explain it.
No, I feel you. Like I still write poetry and stuff. Like I'll be going through things. I actually just started. There's things I want to tell my daughter, but it's probably inappropriate. She's 8.5, so I started to write notes on my phone because later when she gets older about everything.
I have songs, that I recorded back in like elementary, middle, and high school. But when I listen back to the production of it, I'm like, I would have never released that. You get where I'm going? That's why it's not released. I just listen to the files on my phone because, I only put out stuff that I own the exclusive rights to the tracks to, too. So if I put it out, I'm like, how am I going to find this producer? Oh, it was a friend. So how am I going to, you know what I mean? But most
Exactly.
importantly, I just can't put it out anyway because the production just,
No, I feel you. I feel you because it's like you're a kid and you're trying to do it, and you go to the studio, you're trying to do your best. I mean, I can relate it myself through writing, journalism, or even stories. Like I'll look back at things I wrote in 6th grade, and I thought I was a really great writer, but I'm like, dang, I couldn't spell that word. Like, I was spelling these too. I'm like, what? So yeah, I totally get it. And then you brought up Whitney Houston earlier about how she is an inspiration to you. You said idol. I feel like for you, because especially with your parents being gone, and I know Whitney Houston's very, very inspirational, just like how Michael Jackson was to many people across the world. So I wrote down, I don't know if you see these, but I wrote down these other words.
Yes, muse, yes.
Muse, influence, role model, hero, guiding star, beacon, source of inspiration, because I felt like one of those words would probably be better than using the word idol in your case. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. And I really feel like the best one, or if I could choose just one, right?
Sure.
Okay. I'm just really going to choose Guiding Star. And the reason why is because the way Whitney Houston performs, you understand what I'm saying? The way she performs, well, the way she used to perform, shall I say, because I'm talking like this lady is still here, and I wish she was, because I never got a chance to do a song with her.
And her daughter. Oh my God.
But she's the only one that I would go crazy about. Any other person I've been around, bigger celebs and everything, and I just be like, all right, whatever. It's like they mean nothing to me. But when it comes to that lady, oh my God, I probably would have peed in my pants. I don't know. Just seeing
You
her.
never got to see her, but you got to like watch her on TV. She did Super Bowl, right?
Yes, and it's the way she performs, man. It's like she knows how to captivate the crowd. So if you were to kind of look at some of my performances, I love that. I'm so charismatic. I show like so many different personalities and I command the crowd because I watched how she used to do it and I was like, "Oh, I just love it, honey." Woo! I can't explain it, but she's a guide. She's a guide to success. She can show you, if you look back at a lot of her stuff, she shows you how to do it without having to take off your clothes. She shows you how to do it.
She's real, but she's real on the level of showing vulnerability, but through strength.
Yes. Go, Whitney.
Okay. Okay. And then what's your favorite song, or do you have a couple favorite songs from Whitney Houston that you just kind of draw from?
Oh, honey, I love all her songs. But if I had to choose, I would definitely say I love her song, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Yeah, because that was one of the first songs I ever heard.
So that one we're done.
So I Want to Dance with Somebody, and let me see. I like her rendition of I'm Every Woman. I love how she gave us the. She killed it. Okay, and then I didn't know my own strength, and that was from her last album before she passed away.
That was a good one
I
too.
love that song. Have you heard it? If not, girl, go listen.
I
Whoo,
have, yeah, I've
Jesus.
heard it. I've heard, yeah, I mean, she was on the radio all the time in the '90s when I was growing up. My parents listened to like contemporary R&B and rock, light rock. So that's basically her little way she was going on the station. So yeah, definitely, I listened to everything they had. I don't remember if my parents owned the album because in the '80s and the '90s, early '90s, my parents were more focused on having us have Christian music more
Yes.
than anything. So, but
And
we had the radio, so we listened to a lot of that.
and then my last one would be for Whitney Houston is I Believe in You and Me. I sung that in every talent show. It was either that song or My All by Mariah Carey, no cap.
Which one by Mariah Carey?
My All.
Yeah, I love Mariah Carey. I'm at Christmas time. I'm like all over it, man. Between her and Boyz II Men, I'm just like, okay, let's do this. It's Christmas time. I've been like that since high school.
It's okay. All the young ones are catching notice to her and they're like, oh, we love that song, Mariah Carey, you know?
Right?
That song is going to be forever something, just like I Will Always Love You. It's going to always be that song.
Exactly. Hi, my cat's like crying next to me. Okay, stop crying. She talks so much. I have a sleep app, and like in the morning, I was listening, and there was more of her crying than anybody snoring or making noise. I'm like, what? That's why I need to sleep 9 hours a day. Okay.
She was singing Mariah Carey's song. She was with you on that.
My name. She'll say Air.
Oh.
She calls me Air. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. She just did it. I don't know if you heard her, but
That's cute.
okay, next question. So, performance-wise, I spoke with a lot of folks. Can you discuss some of their different forums, genres, subjects they've conducted or spoke about? So, what I mean by that is that some of these events have been like, music events you've performed with. Maybe you opened or performed it with other musicians, but then I saw that you had done something with an author and I think speakers as well.
Yes.
Where you're performing music, not speaking at the event.
Okay. I've done a couple events. I did the Live with Creisha show with the woman that owns the Zane novels. She writes the Zane novels. You know the Zane novels, right? Those was like popular a couple years back.
I don't know. Is it for adults or children?
It's for adults. It's for adults. It's not for the kiddos. I tell you, it's like Scandal, but just a little bit more intensified, shall I say.
Okay, so like, is it romantic or is
Yes,
it like...
romantic novels, us desperate housewives will be like, and he touched her bosom. Oh, wait. That's, Zane novels.
Finger across her lower neck.
Yep.
Shoulder bone.
That's about right.
You're like,
So with her, and then I've performed at a couple live with Carisha events because, like I said, she's one of those big bloggers that's here, and she's on her show is on Dame Dash Network. What is it called? I forgot his network, but whatever his network is called, she has her show a spot on that or whatever that's shown on his little network. Happy birthday, Noah. But and 112 was there, Case was there. So I got a chance to open for them. I've opened for a lot of people. LL Cool J for the 4th of July celebration at the United States Marine Corps base in Camp Lejeune. That was so many years ago. I'm trying to figure out if that was 2016 or 2015. Don't quote me. It was one of those years, but I opened for LL Cool J on the big stage. So it was 10,000 plus families, people there. Crazy. It was crazy. 4th of July. I've opened for Pastor Troy. I've opened for saxophonist to the late Prince. His name is Marcus Anderson. And he dropped some jewels on me, boy. He told me about this industry before I moved here. He let me know. He was like, look, when you get to Atlanta, because I told him we're getting ready to be stationed in Atlanta. We're going to retire and I'm going to do the music. And he dropped those jewels. Marcus Anderson, saxophonist to the late Prince. He told me, he said, don't give up. Don't let nobody tell you tell you that you can't do something. Don't let nobody change you. Stay creative. Most importantly, stay unique, but know the business. Learn the business. He said the business is going to be the most important thing.
It's true. And Prince was very revolutionary when it came to owning your own music.
Yes.
What do you think about that, since you kind of do the same thing?
I think you're right. I mean, I believe he was on, look, that's the only way you're really going to make any kind of money. Whether or not you make it throughout your, your career when you're alive, definitely when you pass, you'll leave something for your kids. Because they say right now that Prince had like a whole bunch of music that he didn't release. I think Jay-Z bought it, but I was like, had that been in his will or his trust, his kids or cousins or aunties or whomever that was still alive could have had possession of that, and they could have sold that off to make money. You know what I mean? Or just kept it.
Yeah. That's crazy that Jay-Z may have bought all his stuff.
He did. He bought all of his stuff. I say, oh my God, Jay-Z, he's smart for that, but Jesus.
Didn't he buy like the Beatles or something and thought like whatever to make that one album?
Yeah, he did too. He went buying up everybody's stuff. He's smart now because he wants to make sure that he'll always have, just like he likes to buy art. Because
right, yeah. So he's been doing that for like 25 years then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, he knows the game. That between him and Beyonce, whatever their relationship is now.
We don't know.
But whatever that is, I mean, there could be love, but I think there's just a partnership between them.
Mm-hmm. Well, she said she don't care if they on the run, just as long as she got him.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, that's like my boyfriend. He's my business partner 25 years, so it's like you're not going nowhere. I got you now. Got you. Okay, so then, your song. So how were you able to get your song Love Jones charted in Luxembourg, France at number 8?
I don't know. I just put it out there on a whole bunch of streaming platforms. I went for, of course, the playlisting, and within the first week or so, it did it on its own. I have no idea. Love Jones is more of like a pop R&B type vibe, but it's like more pop than everything. It's like upbeat, Baby, I got a love Jones for ya. So it's like, who wouldn't like that song? I don't know.
It's like fun, inviting.
Yeah, so it just did it on its own, just like Ocean's Flow on the easy listening charts at number 17. When I put it out, I didn't even know I charted. Someone had to tell me, and then that's when I learned about the chart matrix. And I'm like, oh, I can check out my own music when I chart in different cities and everything.
Then Ocean's Flow got on which one?
Ocean's Flow.
Which you said it got on what platform?
I had it on. I didn't even put that on any playlist. I just had it on, just uploaded it regular like how you would do it, and it charted on its own at number 17 on Apple iTunes.
Ooh, good job.
Yeah, I didn't even, there was no plan for it. I just, I was still kind of trying to learn how to market. So I kind of just put it out there, and it just did its own thing.
Is that the one that, was it 20 or 60th place or what, something like that?
17, number 17.
Okay.
Hey, King.
Yeah.
Could you go sit down? I'm trying to talk.
You Thomas.
She's not Thomas, and she don't have Thomas the Train. Go sit down.
I'm a girl.
It got my foot.
Yeah, what? It did? Oh, go tell Sissy, because she'll go wrap it up for you.
Yeah.
That's why I had it at a certain time, because I knew he was going to cut up.
So because you've had all that success too, can you discuss some of your other number accolades through the music platforms? Like how much, do you know off the top of your head, like what you have on Spotify or YouTube?
I know right now I'm at like 30 plus thousand listeners on Spotify. When it comes to when my fan base is growing each and every day, because I'm always checking my stats. I do it monthly. I don't do it every week no more. I do it monthly because it's just too much to keep checking it every week. But I'm noticing that I'm developing fans in Norway, Germany, more fans throughout Africa. It used to be just mainly like Nigeria and Ghana, but now I'm seeing Kenya on the list. I'm growing. There's expansion there. I know that my song Boss Lady It hit over 100K streams already on Spotify. I know that Money Talk, that's over 100K streams already. Killer Swag is on its way there to 150K plus streams. So I'm growing, definitely growing.
That's awesome. Is it, once we're done with the interview, is there a way that you can email me those stats just so I have the numbers? Because I'm thinking I could throw, when I get time, I could throw something in there that has like your stats, and we could always update them, like you said, once a month.
Okay.
Just update those little guys, and we'll just put the good ones in. So if some of them are just like
Yeah, not so much more. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
because people don't go on every platform. Some of them get hit more, like Apple, Spotify, YouTube,
And I get hit more on Spotify. I don't know what it is, but more people like to listen to my music via Spotify or Sirius X. What is it? Sirius XM radio.
Are you on Sirius XM?
Now I am. It took me forever to figure out a budget for that. You know how that goes.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that's separate from just doing regular digital distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing with what's it called? The communication company that took over, not telecom, but the one that took over radio. Maybe think of, I mean, you have good music, so it's bound to grow. Can you, since you have done different types
Yes,
of events,
Nora Arias does love Michael Jackson.
Like I said earlier, for someone with a book series or speakers, what other types of events have you performed at that were not just a music event?
Okay, I performed at the Know Your Triggers event. This was last summer. Know Your Triggers is a brand about mental health. Of course, the title speaks for itself. It's more of not necessarily just what it is. It's more of a lifestyle. Knowing your triggers, understanding emotional growth. So I sung at the brunch. I sung Ocean's Flow at that brunch, because Ocean's Flow is more of like a mental health uplifting type song. And I sung Synergies, and which was my latest single. Synergies is all about mental health. It talks about the anxiety and, pulling through and being strong. So I performed at the Know Your Triggers event. I think I already told you that I performed at the Pray for Trey event, in which that was the event that we put on for ourselves for a young man that was fighting cancer in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Well, I'm sorry, in Maysville, North Carolina. We lived in Jacksonville, but we had it at Maysville Park because they charged us less money to be able to utilize their park. But I did have the news come out there, and of course the daily news came out. WQRST news station came out. I think I sent you that too. So that was the Pray for Tay event, and of course that was a cancer, awareness event.
Yeah, and so for that event, you guys were raising money.
Yeah, yeah. We paid. My company, JJ's Toys and More, sponsored it, and which is the party rentals company, JJ's Toys and More. The letter J, S Toys and More LLC. We sponsored the event. We paid for everything. We brought the bounce houses out for free, concessions, all that. But then we charged people the popcorn and all that. And then at the end, we just gave him and his family all the money that we raised. Trying to help out. His mom was a single mom. You know what I mean? And them treatments are a lot of money. And although you do get assistance and help, it's a lot. Like the family really has to pull together.
They do. I was lucky. I didn't have to pay anything through. I have Medicaid, so I didn't have to pay anything for my hip replacement. But I thought I was gonna have to pay for half, and half is like $15,000. So I was just like tripping, like, oh no, I'm gonna be in debt for the rest of my life. Like I don't have a ton of debt, but sometimes I feel like
overwhelmed by the little bit that you do have, because it's irritating.
Well, after 7 years, it pulls off your credit score anyway, so it like disappears. So you don't you're gonna put it down for a while, but then it'll just go away, and then you can start over. I've done that. I've done that because I had to. I didn't have a choice. In the past, not right now. I'll do that now. What was your favorite interview or story placement that you've had?
This one will be it.
Yeah.
Because I shared more with you than I normally would with other people. Like I even talked to you about, being molested and all that stuff. Stuff like that I don't really talk about in interviews or blogs, because it just doesn't seem as personable for you to want to do this and do it this route. I really like this, It just
Yeah.
feels better.
Yeah, well, it makes me feel good too. And then, okay, what else? What do we have here? We have, oh, so tell me about the ATKO world about speaking against gun violence, and why is it so important for you to speak on this subject?
Okay. It's important for me to be a keynote speaker and performer at the TKO World, Stop the Gun Violence event, because my brother was a victim of gun violence. My brother passed away from, gun violence, like someone literally shooting him 13 times. And I guess it's a way to just, pay tribute back to him. Just being able to tell my story, how important my brother was to me, how influential he was in me going back to music, and really honestly me just being strong. I mean, for years I think I just hated people because I was like, everybody's dying on me, and I'm alone here, it's just,
Well, if you have your husband now.
yeah, he get on my nerves sometimes, but anyway. Love him.
How long have you guys been married?
19 years, because I married right out of like high school because I got tired of I just didn't feel like dealing with a lot of people. I just really wanted to just be with someone and I wanted to break the cycle. You know what I mean? I watched my mom date around. I watched my dad like be with somebody, then it didn't work out, and then he was just whatever. And I was like, that will not be me, honey. Okay.
Yeah, my mom kind of did the same thing. Her parents divorced when she was 18. So she had younger brothers that were teenagers, which is the worst time for the father to leave the house when he's got young boys. It's like the worst. And it really affected both of them. One of my uncles committed suicide, shot himself while my grandma was home. And the other one, I think, is like very high functioning autistic. I don't even think he was ever tested because he's like almost 60. So, so yeah, he never got tested. But he owns his own board game store and all that fun stuff. But yeah, breaking the cycle, my mom did that too. She, she switched from being Catholic to going to the Church of Christ with my dad, got baptized, and she still is both my parents, very keen on the Bible, but, my grandparents both smoked. I got my grandma to quit, but my mom was like, I don't want any of that stuff. Like she'll just have a random glass of wine a few times a year, and that's about it. So very sober, very like Christian lifestyle, because she didn't want her kids to have to go through what she went through growing up. Yeah, and I feel you because you have basically had loss through your whole life growing up. So
it just seemed, how you'll think you're getting comfortable and then something else occurs. So I just like stability. I like knowing, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like the surprise factor as much,
I think you have like very high energy, and I kind of have the same thing. So like sometimes things will be going great and you're like, yes, it's like upward motion, and all of a sudden something happens. Yeah. And it's just like, why did this happen? I feel like it happens because it's like the energy is out there trying to help us to become stronger.
Yeah.
So we can deal with these other things. And like you're going back and you're helping your community. And I think that's part of it, because not everybody can do that after they have loss. And you actually had to go through so much stuff and learn to be strong and grow up really quick and try and be on your own and not say much to your family because you just thought, why aren't they contacting me? So yeah, it's a lot for a young person to go through. You had to grow up so fast.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't have to do that. Like my parents paid for my college, and when I was young, so it was totally different. But like, I know it's tough. So I get where you're coming from. It's great that you're doing so much out there, trying to break the cycle, and you're still married after, you said, 19 years. Like that's really terrific. So really good. Can you tell me more about your family store, JJ's Toys? Why did you start the business 10 years ago? Is it 10 years ago?
Yeah, it'll be 10 years this December. I started it literally December 15th of 2015, and which is a day before my birthday. I started two businesses. It was Lady D's Grocery and More and the JJ's Toys and More. JJ's Toys and More outlast the Lady D's Grocery and More. You can Google that. It'll come right up. Lady D's Grocery and More. And I started that. So before Instacart, there was Lady D's Grocery and More. I used to go to the local Walmart or Kroger or Publix, and I would shop for veterans that couldn't get out the house because I was in a military town.
Oh
So I
yeah,
would shop for the veterans, get all their groceries, and they would just give me a percentage of their ticket, you know. So I would maybe charge you like $50 if you were spending $100, you know. So to be like it'll end up being like 150, you know, something like that. And I would just shop for you and then drop it off to you. And I still have clients to this day, like Mr. Tim and stuff. I keep in touch with them, and they're like, "You moved away, and now I gotta have Walmart, you know, pick, you know, shop for me." And then they have me come and get it. It's not the same. And I tell Mr. Tim, you better call DoorDash.
I know, right? Like Uber Eats or whatever that.
But he's like, nobody shot from an eggplant right like how you did and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, you know, like, you know, because I would always make sure everything was fresh, all that stuff. Like I took pride in it. And I had my daughter involved, you know, because I used to be a Girl Scout troop leader on top of that. So then I would have some of my Girl Scouts help me to do it. And that was another way that they would learn how to kind of work and be accountable, you know, for picking up items and picking up the best of the best items out of the store, like, because that to me mattered. So yeah, you know, JJ's Toys and More. I stopped doing that. The Lady D's Grocery More in 2017 when I found out we were gonna move. I closed it down permanently because I was like, I can't do that and JJ's moving here plus music. So I chose to get rid of something that I knew I would have to try to build a bigger clientele on versus, you know, doing the Google ads and JJ's being more of like party rentals, bounce houses. So I knew that I would make more money faster.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You said okay. So the grocery one ended in 2015.
In 2017. So I opened it in 2015, closed it in 2017. And then JJ's Toys and More, we started that in 2015 and we're still doing it to this day. We are now a small corporation. So God is amazing on that. And we're growing every day.
And you said you got okay. So tell me what you got there, because I want to know. Do you have bounce houses?
Yeah, we have bounce houses, we have concessions. I offer singing telegrams.
Hey.
We do tables and chairs. We got the inflatable tents. We don't do the little, you know, pop-up tent vibe. No, we do the inflatable tents, like the spider tents, the nice, you know.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
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 Yeah. We you know, we want it to be nice, you know, we want a nice little look to your party. So
Do you have like the what's it called? The photo booth? Do you have photo booths?
we don't do the photo booths. Reason why is because my friend, she does parties, like the decorations for parties, and she does it. So how I look, yeah, exactly. So I don't do that. What I'll do is if you want that, I'll tell you about her. I'll get a percentage off because we learn how to wash each other's hands, and then vice versa. Somebody need decor, we send them over there. She gives us, you know, and it works out great.
Yeah, I do that with some people with my business. Like I got a photographer, a dance studio, music studio, blah blah blah. People that do loans for small businesses. I got a girl that does that. So I got a whole bunch of people like that. It's really cool.
People don't understand that the way to really being successful as a small business owner is to learn how to barter. You know, because even big corporations barter. They're not always trading out big money. They're literally bartering from each other. They're bartering services. They barter each other's lawyers, but we don't know that because we just look at the money and the success, but we don't understand what it takes to get there. Like I'm not going to go and buy a pair of Jordans when I can take $200 that I was going to spend on that Jordan and throw it into a stock, or go buy, you know, some more concessions to make more money off that, or go buy, you know, some more equipment for, you know, my studio here to make more music, to get another show. You know?
I know exactly what you mean. I do the same thing. Like if somebody had a massage therapy place and was like, I'll give you massages 3 days a week in exchange for some social media marketing, I'd be like, okay, let's go.
Yep.
And it's not something that I'm just like, ooh, I want to try that. Like something I really need. Like I just met someone that does Reiki, but I was also told that she needs a media kit for her business. She's kind of like not a psychic. She's like an empath, like how you and I kind of are.
Yeah.
So and I'm just like, oh, she could do some Reiki, then I might do a trade. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, it's definitely something I've learned. I learned that through a marketing advertising business I worked with in the community out here in Sacramento. And it's like one of the best things because it helps you to connect with other people, other businesses. There's like a trust aspect to it, and then you have that bond in a way, and then you can kind of work together in the future. So I like it. Why is your son the spokesman or spokeschild for JJ's Toys and all the food drives that your family hosts?
JJ's the name and the face of JJ's Toys and More, because if it wasn't for him, there would not be any JJ's Toys and More. When JJ was 5 years old, we booked him a bounce house for a weekend. We spent over $700 to have a big water slide in our backyard. Well, on Monday, when it was time for the man to come and pick up the bounce house, JJ was crying. He told the guy that that was his toy and that he wasn't supposed to be taking it and all kinds of stuff. And I and I told JJ, look, we didn't buy it, baby. We rented it. And he was like, well, he wanted us to buy him one. So I asked the guy, I say, hey, look, how much did you spend on this? And he was like, I spent about $4,200, plus the shipping will be about another $400-500. I was like, okay, so that's about $5,000. I say, just for this one slide? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, man, I got to thinking, me and my husband, we were looking at each other and we was like, we're about to get ready to retire in 3 years. Once we leave here, we're going to go to Atlanta, then we can retire there and just do it here. So I was like, probably best that we start now, 2 years here, and then take it there. You get it? So, we looked online for starter packages, and our first 3 units was a 18-foot double lane slide, a castle combo with sliding, which is a bouncer with a slide and a regular bounce house. And we spent about $11,000 for just that kit. While my husband was at work on base, I'm sitting up here creating websites with Vistaprint, learning how to do the Google ads and SEO. Cause I'm like, look, I was like, we finna make some money. Cause I saw how my son was acting, and I'm like, is he kidding me? I said, I wonder how many other kids act like this.
I love a bounce house. I mean, not right now because of my hip, but I used to bounce house like as an adult and just go and jump in that thing. I love those things.
So you see, my son, he's the reason we even started the company. So it only made sense. My husband's name is John, so John Jr., JJ's Toys and More, and that way he has something that he can fall back on. And now that we have our son King, and with him being on the spectrum, he knows how to work the business a little bit. He knows how to help put up bounce houses. He knows how to clean them. It just allows them to be able to have a job just in case they don't want to do anything else. They have something that they can fall back on. So we're really just building this for our kids. My daughter can do it if she wants to. But I know she's going to go into education and ABA. That's what her dream is. But if she wants to work the business, she has something to fall back on. We just want to be able to provide something for our kids to fall back on.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that especially if she's teaching K-12, it's definitely a good fallback because you're in that $25,000 to $50,000 income range, so you're still on the low end.
Yeah.
Sun's up right now, so how old are all your kids right now?
Nevaeh said, oh my God, Nevaeh just turned 18 on the 26th. Stop it, I'm dying now.
Who? Wait, which one?
Nevaeh, she's just turned 18. Nevaeh's 18. King is 8. And JJ is 14, but he'll be 15 May 26th. So you got 18, 14, and 8.
8 and John Jr. is, you said 14?
Yes.
Okay. I see you got them all nice and spread out there. Okay.
Girl, because I was trying to end it. And every time I said, what's crazy is, and this is a great story to tell to anybody, we're a military family. Every time we were getting ready to leave, what is it, a tour? Like we'll stay 3 years here, 3 years there. It would never fail. I would get pregnant before we were leaving. And the bounce house company, like 6 to 7 months into owning the company, guess what happened? I got pregnant with King. I said, you know what? I'm done.
And did you guys, when you're doing the military tour, were you like overseas and all that?
We didn't get a chance to go overseas. They wanted to send us to Japan, but I demanded Atlanta. I was like, please give us Atlanta because I'm trying to get this music thing going. I ain't getting no younger. I need to be in Atlanta.
You need to in Japan. Japan's awesome, by the way.
I heard.
I want to go so bad, but
if I can get a show there, that'd be great. So that's what I'm working on. So I can go to the Hello Kitty parade.
Oh, I just bought some Hello Kitty face wipes, and I got my daughter some too. And I love Hello Kitty.
She's everywhere in my office. I don't play.
I love it. I used to love Hello Kitty and Powerpuff when I was like right out of high school. Those were like my go-to little things. Little Powerpuff Girls and stuff. So that's funny. So you guys just stayed in Atlanta. So when you were on the military tour, you just stayed like in different states?
Yeah, we stayed in different states. We were in Richmond, Virginia. We were in North Carolina. My husband did a tour in Afghanistan. He did a tour in Germany.
Yeah, that makes sense. Afghanistan, and you said Germany, yeah, because Afghanistan was around that time after 9/11. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, because I think I was I was 21 when 9/11 happened, and right after that, everybody went off. All the guys at church went into the military, except for like two of them. I was like, dang, they're all gone. Okay. So two friends stayed. My cousin went. Like other people went. Where do you deliver or host the food drive?
Okay.
And do you collaborate with other local businesses or leaders?
Yes, we do. We actually we coordinate with Hiram Cookie.
Hiram?
Yes, Hiram, Hiram, Hiram Cookie, and which is really Great American Cookie, but Hiram Cookie is the name, but then it's up under the flagship of Great American Cookie, if that makes any sense at all.
I can find. I'll look it up.
Yeah, they're right in Hiram. So we always coordinate with them every year. We coordinate with Blended Smoothie Bar in Hiram, Georgia. Blended Smoothie Bar.
Same area. Okay, I'll look them. That's what it's called. Blended. Are they? Is it like a smoothie?
Yeah, it's just straight smoothies. They got some good smoothies, boy. That one, that Energizer one. Oh my God, it'd be so good. That orange with the pineapple. Ooh, Jesus. And coconut, it'd be so good. I promise you. And it does really give you energy. Like it really does.
And Orange Julius. I don't know if they have those out there. We had one place called Orange Julius out here. And it would just be like banana and orange, and they'd put like milk. When I make it, I put yogurt in it for the probiotics, but a little bit of vanilla extract. But like the traditional way, you'd add egg white. But nobody really eats raw eggs like that now, so.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to eat the raw egg. We've partnered with Crunch Gym in Hiram, Georgia. Crunch Gym, the local Crunch Gym. They run advertisement for us, and we also use them as far as like all we basically do is we just put a box in their establishment, and the box is there for a month and a half for anybody that's coming and going, to be able to just put canned goods or non-perishable items in there to be able to give to the local food bank. The local food bank here is Helping Hands of Dallas, Georgia. Helping Hands.
Is that the one you work with primarily?
Yes. Only with them because that's our direct community, so I stick with them,
That's Georgia?
Yeah, Dallas. Yes, there's a Dallas, Georgia, believe it or not. People be like, Dallas, Georgia.
I know, it's like Georgia has all like these cities and towns that are like in other states. I'm just like, Hollywood?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I wonder which one came first.
Yeah. Oh, Hollywood, Florida was where I grew up. Hollywood, Florida, and then I'm in Dallas, Georgia.
Do you know how old Hollywood, Florida is?
Very old.
Older than Hollywood, California?
But look, when I moved here and I was like, I'm from Hollywood, they were like, you from Hollywood, California? I was like, no, Hollywood, Florida. They was like, where is that? I was like, right outside of Miami is 20 minutes south of Miami. It's like right there. I promise. Before you get to Fort Lauderdale, it's Hollywood and Dania.
No. You're just going to a different dimension and landing in Hollywood. Don't lie. I'm kidding. That's so funny though. Okay, and then so you told me all these different places. Is there any other people that you've worked with?
Yes, I'm sorry. We've worked with Beyond the Books Academy in Smyrna, Georgia. Beyond the Books Academy, Smyrna, Georgia. That's SMYRNA, Smyrna, Georgia.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen that word before.
Yeah, Beyond the Books Academy, in which that's co-owned by retired NFL player, his last name Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
His daughter, Tanisha Jones, owns it, but he's the co-owner. Tanisha Jones and Lawrence Taylor. She got married. That's why her last name is Jones now.
Okay. Got it. So he's like on the board. He's just, because he's retired, he's just chilling.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing. He's
Yeah,
chilling.
but she can still do work and do things.
Yeah, she's doing everything. She even runs his matter of fact, sometimes she's looking for PR, so I gotta shoot her your way. Cause yeah, in California, like she does like golf events and different. I'm waiting for her to ask me to sing at one of those golf events because she be doing the little fundraisers. My daughter actually works for her, like babysitting her kids like 3 days a week.
Oh, for real? Okay, she's your friend.
Yeah, she lives in our neighborhood in our community.
Nice. Why did I say gold events? I meant golf. Gold.
Golf events like to raise money.
Yeah. Okay, so then I saw in the notes that you sent me that you and your husband had a web series called Hustle Crime Unit. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, Hustle Crime Unit is it's just a whole bunch of like sketch comedy skits that we just threw together and created our own web series. And this was created during COVID because we were just trying to find a way to kind of connect with each other and just bring some laughter to the internet and just be creative as a couple, just like kind of just enjoy ourselves by creating characters. I don't know,
Yeah.
we're just having a good time. Everybody was on social media, so we tried to take advantage of it, but we didn't stay too consistent enough.
Is it something you would want to do again, or maybe not do it like all the time, like once a month?
Yeah, it's something that I'm definitely wanting to bring back. But right now I'm in production with LMAO with Setting the Tone Productions. So I'm creating for that, constantly coming up with stuff for different actors that are up under that project with me. So I kind of put Hustle Crime Unit on the back burner to concentrate on what's going to give me my IMDb credits. You know what I mean?
Okay, so in production with
Setting the Tone Production.
Setting the Tone Production, and then you said with LMAO.
Yes, called LMAO, and which is a sketch comedy series.
And they're gonna put it on IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always. I remember like anybody I knew, even before IMDb came out, like everyone was throwing it on YouTube, and then it came out, and everyone started pushing all their indie films and series over to IMDb. I was like, dang.
Yeah, setting the tone. He wanted to use the Hustle Crime Unit, but those characters are special to me. Like when I play the grandma with Tourette's and all of that, I don't want to give that to any production team unless I know that I'm gonna profit off it more than what was offered. So that's why I just chose to give him another show and use his actors. That way I can hold on to the Hustle Crime Unit and probably wait it out a little bit. So then when I go back to the table and ask for my worth, I can really get that. You know what I mean?
So are you acting and you're writing for the show?
Yes. I have the whole script already because Sundance reached out to me, but when I submitted it, they said that I needed to add more episodes to it. So I'm working. I'm back on the drawing board, working and getting more episodes.
That's good that Sundance reached out. Let me know when you're ready because we could always swing it that way. I have another guy I'm working with that wants to get down into Hollywood and he's producing it, but he needs to find like a producer, to leg it up.
Yeah, that's what we be needing, somebody that's already kind of in to kind of help us out, because I can write it all day, and because I played in Hustle Crime Unit. I played the quirky news reporter, the grandma with Tourette's, the ghetto baby mama, the Spanish baby mama, the island baby mama.
I want to see that one.
And the detective, I played Detective Coco, and then I played Crackhead Patty. Like, I don't know if you looked at something. I'm gonna have to send them to you because you're gonna be dying. You're gonna be like, this girl played too much, because people be like,
with a Crackhead Patty, that's funny. Are you?
People look at me even when I go places and be like, girl, like, how you play all those people? Something wrong with you. No, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just playing a character, just having fun.
With the Crackhead Patty, are you like doing your hair and like putting like the white on your lips? Yeah. I'll take it to the extreme. Be all drunk. And then at the beginning, you're like, warning, we're going to be talking about drugs. Kids, don't do drugs.
Yep. Kids, don't drink. Don't do drugs and don't drink.
That's nice. I'm like, wait till you get out of high school, man. Wait. Wait for all that stuff. Was that the end of that question?
Yeah, so we'll bring Hustle Crime Unit back once I can get paid my worth and when I'm done creating more episodes for the season so that way I can hit up Sundance. But right now you can find it on my YouTube and on the Hustle Crime Unit YouTube page, you know, a couple of the episodes, because we started out when 1-800 L Champ was the first episode, and that was all about Trump, you know, being president at first, and then we took it and created a scenario of a guy being a billionaire and winning, and the quirky news reporter, she's the one that exposed his name on air when he literally came wearing a mask to collect his money. It was crazy. You gotta watch it. You're gonna die. You're gonna be like, this girl played too much.
I love it. I used to do YouTube skits when YouTube first came out, like before I started the magazine. So it was like 99, 2000, 2001. And I would do it with like my sisters or my friends from church. And I just come on over. We're doing a skit. I wrote out the notes and I'd put the thing up on the wall, and we'd like, you know, go through it and just do these like really silly skits. Like just really silly. And yeah, so I had like 3 or 4 skits on YouTube, and I totally forgot that they were there still. And I've had people be like, you don't have very much stuff on your YouTube, but you do have these funny skits. Like, what is that for? I was like, oh, don't worry about that. Like, I use my YouTube so I can watch shows, really. That's what my YouTube is for until I, you know, change that up. But yeah, I kept some of them on there, so I actually had to make them private because they're so old. It's like I look like a baby in them. I'm like 19 years old.
Girl, you gotta be unprivate them things and let people see and go viral and have fun with it. Live your life. If you created it and you put it out there, it was already there. You might as well just let people see it. You can be 12. You can be 12 and creating content. Like, these kids are winning because they're just putting up this content. They're doing these dances, and people are checking them out. It's like, hey, if you're creative, show it.
Yeah, there's like 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds that are already like driving around Teslas and crap and all these expensive cars, and I'm like, what in the world? How did you figure out how to make $1 million, dude? I'm like struggling over here. How'd you do that?
What I've learned, it is just consistency. That's why I'm constantly, I started back going live on my YouTube because I had fell off that. And I was realizing, I was like, okay, every day I got to stay committed. Either morning or night, I'm on there for at least an hour or two, building back up my following there, because I didn't go live for like 4 straight years on my YouTube. I had started and I was doing live with Daniqua every Friday night for just an hour. But then I started getting shows and interviews. So then I would have to be somewhere else on Fridays. But what I messed up at is what I should have did is went live wherever I was at. Because now I do that. If I have shows or anything, I just go live wherever I'm at. You know?
It's like we should have known these things. Like I just barely started doing some videos. I was like, I'm a writer. I don't have to do that. But it doesn't matter because I'm a communicator and I have to like use all, why is my cat pulling my hair from behind me? It's like different kitty cat. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so Live with Daniqua, that's like one of your other shows that you were doing?
Yeah, that I was doing on YouTube, but I wasn't consistent with it. So now I'm being consistent with it. So now I'm on YouTube every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. And then and that's Monday through Friday. And then I come back live from 9 p.m. to like 9 to 10, like 10 p.m. 9. So everything is 9 to 10, 9 to 10, 1 hour.
So morning is 10 a.m.
And then night is 9 p.m. Mm-hmm. Just for an hour, trying to build it back up.
Is it like small? Like, what is it about?
Just me. Just sometimes I'm creating music. Sometimes I'm just talking to people. Like, a lot of my followers, what I notice on there are my supporters, and they're like my family. Some of them just really want me to either pray for them or just kind of uplift them in a way, or just be there, like someone to talk to. Like, I'll answer them back in the chat. It's more of like building a relationship more than anything else. I'm just building relationships, really. And, they're able to listen to the music and check out the videos and stuff, but I want them to kind of get to know me as a person,
That's a really good, I like that, because I noticed that people that have any kind of video